Hi, I'm Peter Capaldi. I play the Doctor, and you're watching EMS Productions.
Hi everyone, here I am back this week with another video, finally. Been a bit of time, I was on holiday and stuff, so wasn't able to make any videos recently, but as you can see from the title, I'm asking the question that I get asked pretty much every week. I see at least one or two comments about this certain topic of where is the elusive Doctor Who Series 9 soundtrack. Now as I'm recording this, it is the 1st of September, which means that it's well over 8 months since the Christmas special, and nearly 9 months since actual Series 9 ended. And yet we haven't even had a peep of whether there'd be a Series 9 soundtrack or not, which you'd think is rather strange given general release dates and everything. You don't think that they'd delay a soundtrack for so long. And so I've kind of been doing a bit of research, reading up and trying to find out any little details I can on what's slowing down the release and when will it actually be released. So in this video I'm just going to try and give you what I found out. There is nothing official here. A lot of it is based on rumours and just pure guesswork. There's nothing official, but I'll try and give you my best idea of what's causing the delay and when it'll be released. One of the first things that I'd kind of stumbled across, or rather a bit more last year, that I found out about was the Series 8 soundtrack, top-notch one there, that is obviously on my channel. That was released in May last year, I believe May the 15th or so. But it probably wouldn't have been released at that point had there not been the Doctor Who Symphonic Spectacular in May last year. It's nothing official, but there's lots of rumours rolled around mainly last year and just sort of bringing it back up this year, that the BBC forced Silver Screen, the company who produces all the Doctor Who soundtrack CDs and releases them, they made them hurry up and get this release out as quickly as possible before the Symphonic Spectacular so that they could sort of flog a load of CDs when they have the music festival kind of thing. So, which seems a very reasonable thought as to why, because I think it was released about a week before the Symphonic Spectacular, so clearly they were trying to sync the releases with that, but as far as the rumours suggest that Silver Screen didn't particularly want to release it then, but they were rather forced to by the BBC to get it out in time for that. So that kind of suggests that maybe generally Silver Screen wouldn't like to release the soundtracks as soon as they did 5 months, even though it's 5 months after the series, they still want to release it as soon as that, and so maybe that partly explains the delay. Another thing to think about is looking at kind of the past history of soundtrack releases, at least with Doctor Who. So obviously Series 8 was 5 months, but just to explain that's a little bit different. Now one of the key ones I think to look at is the release of The Time of the Doctor / The Day of the Doctor, when we're around, the two Matt Smith specials at the end of Series 7, 2013, which obviously they aired 23rd November and 25th December 2013, but we didn't actually get the soundtrack until the 24th, I believe, of November 2014, so basically 11 months after the last episode had aired is when the soundtrack actually came out, which kind of a similar situation to what we're in at the moment, and I think there didn't seem any obvious reason for that. I mean, they could have kind of released it soon after Christmas, the start of 2014, or they could have released it with the Series 8 coming out in August 2014. So they kind of released it in between the end of Series 8 and the Christmas special, which I guess was because people were thinking about Doctor Who or something, or whatever. But that's just worth noting that we have had very long waits between episodes airing and soundtracks releasing. Just look at the two Series 7-ish Christmas specials, Dr. Widow in the Wardrobe and The Snowmen, where that was released in late 2013, I think. And even though one of the episodes aired in 2011, so sometimes you do have to wait rather a long time for a soundtrack. So clearly, looking at past history, there's also kind of a reason as to why maybe it's delayed. Now, one of the other things that I thought had shed some light, but turns out it kind of didn't, is the article that you may have seen recently about the BBC selling the rights to the music of Doctor Who to a company called BMG, which initially kind of the thoughts were all, oh, it's not going to be released by Silver Screen. Clearly they're all sitting around not doing much and chatting, trying to sort this out, which is why the soundtracks have come out. But having done a little bit more research and looking on various forums and stuff, I've seen a reply from Mark Ayres of Classic Doctor Who Music and just generally Doctor Who Music, fairly in the know guy, and he said that essentially this has no effect on Silver Screen releasing the soundtracks, and it's just kind of determining the sort of allowing various other companies to use Doctor Who music, or the various companies' music, in their shows. Or so if you hear some Doctor Who music on an advert for something, then that's sorted out by BMG rather than by Silver Screen, who would never get involved in that. BMG aren't involved with the actual soundtrack releases, so you won't sort of having a new soundtrack from them. So it should still be from Silver Screen. So although initially I thought, oh yeah, that's clearly why it is, actually it's kind of not affected the release at all, as far as I know. Well, I should make this clear that historically Doctor Who soundtracks have been very good sellers, and so I'd say it's highly unlikely that we won't get a Series 9 soundtrack at all. because it makes the BBC enough money for it to be worthwhile, so they'll go and tell Silver Screen, get us a soundtrack out please. So I'm sure that will come eventually, but kind of, I've given you obviously some of the reasons, sort of reasons as to why maybe there's a delay. So, but obviously I think one of the other things is purely just the hiatus this year, because it's more difficult to sell a soundtrack when it's nowhere near anything Doctor Who related to releasing, so episodes or stuff, because just people aren't going to be thinking about it as much. I mean, if they released it in June, people really aren't going to be thinking about Doctor Who, because it's 6 months since the last episode, it's 6 months till the next one. It might struggle to sell so well because it's just not in people's minds. The sort of general fans who they need to pick up some of, they're not thinking about it, so that kind of can explain part of the delay as well, which is why realistically I think we're looking at a November-December release date for the Series 9 soundtrack. I'd be surprised if they wait until we have the next Christmas special and then bundle it all together or something, because we've already got one Christmas special that's going to be on this soundtrack, or should be. So I'd be surprised if they went for a whole series plus 2 Christmas specials all in one soundtrack. Would seem a little bit over the top. I think they probably wouldn't do that. So that's why I imagine it'll probably be similar to Day/Time of the Doctor when it was released in the end of November. I imagine we'll get something like that, but who knows for sure? I certainly don't know for sure. I'm just trying to lay out all that I've worked out to try and give you a better idea of when we're looking at a soundtrack. So no, I'd say realistically you might get an announcement for the soundtrack end of October, start of November, and then a release around the end of November, December. Realistically, when the soundtrack is announced, it's probably going to be announced about 3 or 4 weeks before the soundtrack comes out. So, you know, if it hasn't been announced, then it's going to be at least a month before you're going to get it, is the best way to think about it at the moment. So, if it starts September, we won't be getting it till October at least. I can tell you that. So, that's the best I can come up with, I think, on when it's actually going to come out. So, I think that's pretty much all I can give you. There's not really too much more to say about it. I guess we're hoping the soundtrack, when it does eventually come out, be a nice 3-disc release like we had with Series 8, lots of music. Come on guys, put the whole Heaven Sent soundtrack on there please. We don't need the whole of the Husband's River song, that'd be a waste of time. Please put the Heaven Sent soundtrack on there, thanks, that'd be great. So that's pretty much it from this video. What else can I say about Series 9 soundtrack? I'm not sure whether I'll post it on my channel this time. I don't know, really, because I don't want to kind of push the whole copyright stuff a bit too far. So, I don't know, really. You might have to buy it or go somewhere else for it. How disastrous will that be for you all? I know. But you need to support Silver Screen /BBC/Mario Gold, and then they'll actually release soundtracks if we start buying them all more. So yeah, don't just listen to it on my channel, go buy it. That'd be even better. But no, so I probably won't be posting it this year just because of copyright. I don't want to risk that all kind of thing. So there you go. November/December I'm predicting, but don't hold me to it if it comes out in March next year, because who knows. That's pretty much it for this video. I don't know what video I'll be doing next. I mean, I was on holiday last week and I did go to the Doctor Who Experience, so I might do a video about that. I don't know really, because I didn't record any video clips. I took a lot of pictures, but I didn't actually record any videos. So if you'd like to see kind of a photo montage / me discussing what it's like a bit, then let me know and I will. But otherwise I'm not sure if I'll actually do that or not. We'll have to wait and see. But that's pretty much it from this video. Remember to like the video and subscribe if you're new here. Comment any questions you've got about soundtracks and stuff, and I'll try my best to answer it. I'm hardly an expert, but I've done enough. I look around the internet on various forums to try and find stuff out. And so yeah, any questions, just ask me. Remember to follow me on Twitter, haven't plugged it lately, at EMS_Productions for all the updates on my upcoming videos, general stuff on Doctor Who and whatnot. And Class coming up as well. I'll be previewing Class some point soon because it's only just over a month away now, I believe, coming out in October. So there will be a preview of Class Series 1 once we get a trailer sometime soon. And I might even review the episodes as well, you never know. Looking forward to that. I think it'll be really good. I'm sure a lot of you disagree, but whatever. That's pretty much this video. I'll see you again somewhen soon for a new video. Bye!